Well, Chris has already pointed out that Rittal is probably known as a manufacturer of electrical enclosures, but we have a lot of more products to offer. We have a lot of active components as well, such as enclosure climate control, such as equipment and products for data centers. So that's the kind of products we are looking into when it comes to making them IoT ready and creating tools that help the end user to streamline their processes. And I'm from the after sales service department, and that's why the topic I'm going to talk about is very close to my heart, because I'm going to talk about how IoT-ready products can contribute to smart and intelligent maintenance. And in order to make this easy to understand for you, we've brought a specific use case. But first of all, I would like to describe how Rittal sees the digital transformation in terms of our products. And we've divided this into 3 different levels for easier understanding. So the first level is basically our core competence. That's IoT-ready products. I've pointed out that we make a lot of active components, such as enclosure air conditioners, for example. We have our newest generation air conditioners, our Bluey Plus air conditioners. They're very energy efficient, but they're also capable of communicating. Different protocols are possible. So that's our core competence. So we make them ready to communicate, make them IoT ready. Now the second level, that's basically what I'm going to talk about today. This is about using the data that's coming from products in the field in order to streamline and optimize processes for our customers and make it easier for them if they use specific tools, apps, for example, to save cost or resources or time. That's the second level that's possible with using this data that's coming from the sensors inside of our products. Now the third level, it's basically more diving into data analytics, understanding the data much better and concluding and also giving recommendations for specific actions. But of course, the third level also describes an opportunity for us as a service provider, not only as a supplier of products, but also as a supplier of services. So in our view, this offers a huge opportunity in order to offer a lot of more data-driven services that we cannot offer without such a solution. So what have we done? I promised you that I'm going to describe a specific use case, and we've taken some of our products, our Bluey Plus air conditioners, latest generation, and this is possible. It's possible to basically monitor these products remotely, and of course, this is what we're looking into here. And we've chosen a partner such as Siemens MindSphere because, as I pointed out earlier, our core competency is not cloud solutions or data analytics. Our core competency is more the physical products. And we found a very good partner in Siemens with the MindSphere because they provide the solution that we need. They provide, with the MindSphere data security, they provide a platform that we can use in order to give apps or other tools to our customers. So how does it look? Enclosure air conditioner, very simple principle. What it does, an electrical enclosure is typically full of Siemens S7s or other components, and it's important to keep them at a specific temperature. So such an enclosure air conditioner is critical for the functioning of the machines and the electrical equipment inside of the enclosure. So the air conditioner is very important. Typically you find them in production sites, as you see in this graphic here. You have multiple of these enclosure air conditioners in such a production site. And of course, it's possible to stand in front of the unit and understand what's the health of the unit by looking at the display, but that's not what we want. We want what's visualized here in the picture. We want it to be, we want the maintenance manager or the maintenance personnel to be able to centrally monitor the equipment from a distance. Now, specific use case, we've developed an app, our Rittal Smart Maintenance app, that helps the end user. And a typical end user would be a maintenance manager, a plant manager, so plant personnel, basically, to get a better understanding what's the health of my equipment. What you see here is one of the first screens of our Smart Maintenance app, and this is actually, it's the layout of a plant from above. And as you can already see in a traffic light principle, you can already see where your assets are, where your equipment is. So red would indicate that there is action required because a failure is ahead. Yellow would mean there's a maintenance required, or green would mean everything is okay, no action needed. So everything at one view, and the user can actually see where in the plant do I need to send someone. Now on the next screen here, you see an additional feature. That's maintenance route optimization. So just imagine there's an external service technician coming into this plant, and if it's a very big plant, then, well, not that easy to find your way around or to know what's the optimal route. So there's potential to save time by reducing, your walking time, for example. So this is something that the app would support as well. Now you've seen the red, green, and the yellow assets, enclosure air conditioners. There's another way of sorting it by urgency. So you can actually sort the equipment by, where is action required and by urgency. And on the next screen, that actually shows when you dive into the details for the different equipment, you already see what's the status or what's the remaining useful lifetime of the different fans inside of the air conditioner. So critical components inside of my air conditioner, you can see like the life of a battery, for example. You can see there's action required here because the remaining useful lifetime of one of the fans is already pretty down, and you can anticipate a failure. You can anticipate something's going to happen, and as the person in charge of maintenance, you can actually be proactive and avoid that the machine is down because the air conditioner may be broken in about 100 hours. There's additional information, additional details that you would find in the app. So for each individual asset you've seen on the overview screen, you can actually look at part number, serial number. You see the different temperature points. So there's a lot of information that you get for each individual unit without having to stand in front of the product. So helps as well to reduce maintenance time or understanding of what the status of your equipment is. And then a very important aspect for service and a high first-time fix rate is spare parts. So the app also integrates the information for each specific model, a list of spare parts, and it makes it very easy for the end user to select what spare part is needed, and also it gives an option to order that spare part directly from Rittal or to get a quotation for that spare parts. So these were screenshots of our smart maintenance app just to visualize a little bit better and to make you understand where we are heading at. What are the advantages? Now, we've discussed this, of course, in length with our customers, but some of the things on this slide here I have already mentioned. Asset management, that's very important for someone who's in charge of a plant. They want to understand where are my assets, where is my equipment, and what's the health of my equipment. Remaining useful lifetime, I've explained that. Of course, with getting data back from the field on a permanent level, it makes it possible for us to analyze this data. For example, the speed at which the different fans have been running, or the temperatures at which the fans have been running. And of course, all this information helps us to determine what's the remaining useful lifetime of critical components inside of that air conditioner. So, and having this kind of information, of course, helps us to detect any faults or any errors beforehand. Also, what repair requirements we might have, because what we want to do is basically not just reacting whenever a machine or an air conditioner is down. We want to have this kind of information before it happens to avoid any downtime or to avoid any failure. Now, availability of spare parts. Very important, understanding what may be broken or what spare part do I need. That again helps me to make sure that I have the right spare part available at the right time in the right place, which then again leads to one of the most important KPIs in service and after-sales service, which is first-time fix rate. I want a technician who goes on site to be able to fix the problem right away, and I don't want that person to, come back once more, because that adds to the time it takes to repair something. That increases the machine downtime, and of course it increases cost. So we want to keep this first-time fix rate very high, and a key aspect for that is, of course, having the right spare parts with me once I'm in front of that product and want to repair it. So all these are advantages, plus the maintenance route optimization, something that helps reducing maintenance time, as I've pointed out earlier, because I can reduce the time it takes to walk through a large plant and find the different assets. And then, of course, from these advantages, what are typical benefits for a user? And I did point out that the target group for an app like this are typically maintenance managers, plant managers, so personnel that's in charge of reducing cost, making sure machine time is up. So these are all benefits that derive from the advantages we just talked about. And of course, money in a production site is always important, so we want to save money. And by having the right tools available, we also give the opportunity of reducing maintenance cost and repair cost. So these are the benefits. So what is Rittal looking at when it comes to the future? Which way are we going to? Now, I'm sure you remember the 3 levels I explained initially. So the first level being IoT-ready products, second level tools around the data that's coming from the field, and the third level data-driven services, smart services that we could offer as a supplier. Now, first of all, that's where we are at right now. Right now, we are basically connecting our devices in the field. That helps us to get data back from the field. And of course, we can provide tools that visualize the health of the product, that visualizes the equipment status. And again, this is something that we can give to our customers to make their lives easier. Now, the second step, and this will require additional data analytics. That's something we're working on, to understanding the data that's coming back from the field much better, and potentially drawing different conclusions than the ones we already know. And this will help us to develop towards true predictive maintenance. Because earlier I said, we don't want to know when something is broken. We want to know before it happens, so we can avoid any downtime. Now, in the last part, that goes into data-driven services that I have mentioned earlier. Rittal is also, when we think in visions, we are also looking at something like cooling as a service. So the carefree package for our customers. So everything is as a service nowadays, and that's something we are looking into as well. Cooling as a service would mean that potentially the customer, the user, doesn't even buy the physical products from Rittal anymore, but they buy the availability of cooling capacity. So this would only be possible by knowing where is the equipment in the field, what's the health of the equipment, or what action may be required. So this is a little overview of where we stand, how we use the MindSphere, and also what our vision is when we look into the future and think about data-driven services. If you have any questions, oh, by the way, I did mention, I haven't mentioned yet that we are also at the trade show. We are in hall number 5, booth 111, booth 111. So you can have a look at the Rittal booth there. Or we are also a partner here in the Siemens MindSphere Lounge, just across from here, not too far. We have a little exhibit there, and we have 2 gentlemen who can answer questions for you there as well. Thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, please let me know.